Hey guys, this is Entendre, and I just wanted to run through some free plugins real quick. So first up we have the instruments, and then I'll do the effects. So we're going to start off with Helm. Now I have a whole nother video just about this synth. It's a great synth by Matt Tyrell, and I recommend donating because it's well worth it. And yeah, just a couple presets. Yeah, it's quite powerful, and I have another video about that, which I'll post in the description. We also have Komplete Kontrol by Native Instruments, which is part of the Komplete Start bundle. So there's a bunch of stuff in that bundle, including guitar rig and Reactor instruments and all sorts of stuff that we're going to run through some of real quick. But basically this allows you to, if I go back to the sampler area, you have this sampler. You have two different versions, this audio version with some different settings here, different warping sections or algorithms. And then you have like a sampler mode that gives you some other options here and an ADSR. And so that's a fun little sampler, and you can browse through samples. You can also browse any native instrument preset you have and load it up here. So this might, yeah, there's Massive X, which is not free, but it loads that up. So that's pretty cool. And you can also load up samples from here. And you have loops. You can turn on the loop here. You have this scale mode and arpeggiator. And so you can have it play like different keys based on that. Let's find one-shots. So yeah, you have a ton of options here. Very cool. Up next we have Komplete Player. And you can load up all kinds of instruments. They give you some free ones with Komplete Start, like these kinetic instruments, which are really interesting. You can drag this in here. Let me expand this out so you can see. Very weird. Fun stuff. And then you also have these factory selection presets. You can browse here as well. And you have some cool stuff down here, like these keys, kalimba type sounds. You have these macros, you can kind of fade between the different sounds. But this ethereal earth one's really cool. And then you have this hybrid keys, which is awesome. Now keep in mind these are the trial versions. The only limitation is that you can't fully delve in and edit the sounds as much, but you can still make it your own, even just with these macro knobs right here. And so it's very fun. If I turn these chords on here, then I can just press single notes. Super cool. So that's Komplete Player. Up next you have Reaktor 6, also in the Komplete Start bundle from Native Instruments. And that gives you Mikro Prism, this additive synth. You get block space, so you can do some like modular synthesis stuff. So you have some pre-built racks, so if I want to pull up a bass sound. Or one of these. This blocks is really in depth. You can really build a lot however you want and connect it up. So it's amazing they give you so much of it for free. And then you have this bass synth, the track 01 bass, and same with the kick. So you can synthesize your kicks, and there's a bunch of great presets as well. So yeah, here's the presets. But yeah, the Reaktor 6 is super deep, and even just the demo content is amazing. So highly recommend getting Komplete Start. And then you have this BeatZilla from Uhi, another modular type synth, very cool, very in depth and deserves its own video, but you should definitely download that. You can find the link on the description. Podolski is another great synth from Uhi. Let me go to that one. And also free, so check that out. You have some great presets and arpeggiator section here. So check that out. Then you also have Triple Cheese from Uhi, which is fun. Definitely grab that as well. Some cool sounds and lots of possibilities for funky exploration. And then you have this Tyrell N6, also from Uhi, so get some nice analog subtractive synth sounds. You also have some presets here. Very cool. Highly recommend that as well. And last but not least, you have Zebralette from Uhi. And you have some cool presets built into this as well. And it's very powerful as it's a wavetable synth like the full Zebra or Zebra, depending on what part of the world you're from. And then you can like scrub through the wavetable using this knob. So basically you can also draw your own. So if I draw one down here, then I can hold Command and click on the first one, and it morphs between those. So now it's created a wavetable of that morph. So super powerful. Definitely grab this one. You also have these effects here. So many sounds possible. Definitely grab it. Next up, we're going to delve into the effects. So first off, we have span, which is a analyzer effect. So if we just play, it's very cool, and it shows you this correlation meter. So as long as it's on the right, everything's in phase. Otherwise, it's out of phase, and you might need to fix it. Or it could cancel out, especially if it gets summed to mono. So it's a handy tool for measuring your waves and just checking stuff like that. Goes pretty in depth. I'm still learning it, so could make a future video, but we'll keep it moving. Let's go to the next one, which is another audio visualizer, which is Signalizer. And this is from Lightbridge. Span is from Voxingo. And this one's cool because you can like move around the window, and you can go into different views up here. You have a lot of settings to play with. Check out the stereo width, all that kind of stuff. Next up, we have Celestial. I'm going to go back to a regular instrument like Tyrell. It's your boy, Tyrell. So yeah, Celestial is a really cool synth or it's not a synth, it's an effect from Acoustica, and it's great for mixing. It's got that analog kind of old vintage sound. Emulates old equipment, studio equipment, so it's got a certain sound, adds to your mixing quite a bit. fine tune the tonality. Sculpt the end result that you're after. Subtle, but you can really fine-tune your sounds with that. So looking forward to experimenting with it more. Next up we have this Rev Plate-140, and that's from Arturia. It's a reverb plugin, but you also have this tube drive saturation. And the tube affects it even when it's in the dry. Gives it some nice warmth, so it's a very fun plugin, and this one's only free temporarily, so grab it while you can from Arturia. And yeah, it's a definite score for the new year. Up next we have Camel Crusher. It's a great synth, effect from Camel Audio, which is no more, unfortunately, but you can still find this online for free in various places. I'll leave a link in the description, but it's a distortion plugin, and you can randomize the settings. And it's just got a really rich distortion to it, so definitely very cool. It's got that filter compressor built in as well, so check that out. Now it's part of Logic Pro X, and it's been redone, but the old version's still available in some places. Now Fracture is up next from Glitch Machines. You can really glitch out your sounds with this, and you can randomize all the parameters with this button. So this is fun to resample and find the best little sections of and use for cool soundscapes and that sort of thing. So it's a very fun plugin though, and can't beat free. Along the same lines we have Hysteresis from Glitch Machines. So yeah, if you're looking to totally mangle your sound, look no further than Glitch Machines, because they have a lot of tools for that. Next up, we have Wider from Polyverse Music and Infected Mushroom. It adds a lot of great stereo width without putting things out of phase. And it's very, very cool and free, so go grab that as well. I think it uses some sort of comb approach to widening the sound, but I'm not 100% sure. Then up next we have Vinyl from Isotope. Now this one doesn't require any input, it just creates a artificial vinyl sound when you get the settings right. and you can change like the year and the different warp models, how much noise, what types of noise. Get some real nice crackles, and you can even do a slowdown, turntable slowdown. So if I did play a sound in, it's very cool, you can do that. So yeah, it makes it sound older too. Changing these years changes the EQ and stuff. So you can get some really interesting kind of vintage, old warming sounds out of it. Mute that one for now. Up next we have the Guitar Rig Effects, Guitar Rig 5, that comes bundled in that Komplete Start kit from Native Instruments. And this one's great. A lot of these you only have demos of, but if you don't see that, then it's actually a free one. But these demo ones are part of the paid version. But there's a good bit of free stuff, so definitely worth grabbing. And you can get pretty in-depth even with the free one and build your own stuff using various components in here. And so definitely recommend it. Up next we have RAUM from Native Instruments as well. This one's only temporarily free, I believe, so grab it while you can. It's a reverb delay plugin, and you can get really experimental. I've released the key and it's just holding it because of this freeze button. But if I turn that off, it stops. And you can change this delay amount here. You can crossfade between the reverb and the delay. You also have a dry wet mix here, and you can change the reverb, or the reverb algorithm here. So yeah, definitely get that one. Up next we have TAL Filter VST, and it looks like this. Has some envelope settings here. You have some LFO stuff and your filter settings, your input drive, and here's what it sounds like. You can play a lower note here on Tyrell. So yeah, that's a pretty sweet one. Up next we have the TAL Filter 2, which is a similar concept, but you have this envelope shape you can draw and it loops through at whatever rate you chose. Some more filter options here. You can adjust the depth. So that's a fun one. And we have TAL Reverb 2. EQ it there, adjust your size and width, pre-delay, dry, wet, stereo input, and it's got a pretty nice sound for being free. Then you have TAL Reverb 3. Can adjust the room size here as well, stereo width, pre-delay, dry, wet. Input processing in stereo or not. So that's fun. And we have TAL Reverb 4. You have some settings in here. So, really great plugins, definitely check those out. Then we have Protoverb from Uhi, another free reverb. This one gets some nice room sounds, and you can submit the codes if you find ones you like. Or ones you don't like. So yeah, that's a definitely fun experimental plugin. Sounds like it's in a bathroom or something. You can go to the next in the chain here. We have FreqEcho from Valhalla. Definitely a cool one, worth checking out. And it stops when you stop the DAWs, so that's nice. No long tail echoes when you've tried to stop it from playing. And up next we have 8-bit Shaper. This is from X for Records. Can get some nice lo-fi sounds with this. Have some parallel filters here. Or maybe they're in series. Dry, wet. Can definitely get some real lo-fi video game distorted sounds with that. Next up in the list we have Delta Modulator. Just a warning, be careful with this one. You can get some loud spikes if you're not careful. also get some really distorted, cool lo-fi sounds though. Definitely a fun one. Which leads me to the next one from Extra Records, DJN Filter. Which emulates the popular DJ filter and the Pioneer mixer. You have a drive and resonance here. So when you move to the left, it's a low pass. When you move to the right, it's a high pass. It's got a really nice sound as well. Which brings me to the next plugin, last but not least, everyone's favorite, OTT from Extra Records. A nice multi-band compressor and expander. You can really bring out a lot of the subtle details in a sound or whatever frequency band you want. And just kind of compress bands that you don't want. Definitely a very powerful plugin for mixing and bringing out subtle details in not only bass sounds but Foley recordings or drums or whatever. So definitely worth having as well. You can also use the built-in Ableton multi-band compressor, which is in here, and there's a OTT preset that sounds really good too. But it's nice to have options, and you may be able to hear a difference. I haven't really noticed much of one, but it's nice to have, so try it out. And so that brings me to the end of this video. I hope that you've learned something and try out some of these free plugins. Definitely can make a full track just with free plugins alone, and especially if you add that on to whatever native devices you have in Ableton or whatever DAW you're using. It's pretty unlimited. So until next time, keep making music, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.